So welcome everybody to the 2019 What's New in CBTF webinar. So I'll turn it over to Joanne just to bring some opening remarks from the president.
All right, thanks Dana. So I want to welcome everyone to our What's New webinar for 2019. The Education Committee, Technical Committee, and Board and Executive have been working very hard to set us up for a great year, and we're looking forward to the 2018-2019 competition season. A lot of thanks goes to the Education Committee for the assistance and input that they've given us in putting together tonight's webinar. So on behalf of CBTF and the Board of Directors, I would like to welcome everyone and all of those who are participating. And of course, we're looking forward to another great year of baton twirling in Canada. So thank you, everyone.
So our outline for today is we'll do some introductions. We'll go over new season reminders, outline some key Education Committee projects, touch base on our long-term athlete development. Then we'll do some program reviews, touch base on the competitive program and group events. We'll bring you some judging news, education and event refreshers, an update on our coaching and judging realignment, WBTF news. We'll talk about our major competitions and international events. And then, as I mentioned, we'll have questions and answers at the end of the evening. So our technical committee, I'd like to introduce. My name is Dana Pedaleski. I'm your technical chair. Jeff Johnson is our past technical chair. Our WBTF technical advisor is Maureen Johnson. Our judges rep is Amy Kalin. WBTF judges rep is Ron Kopes. Our coaches rep is Maureen Johnson. Our athlete reps is a shared position this year, and we have Chantel Sutton and Alyssa Larad. Our group rep is Leanne Wilson. SDP rep, Sarah Thibault, and our sanction officer is Sue Mepham. And our provincial technical reps, I hope I have these right. If there's been updates since your AGMs, just send in your list and let me know. But at what I'm aware of right now, BC, Lisa Neal, Alberta, Jenna Jemayev, Saskatchewan, Nancy Lightheart, Manitoba, Alicia Strawn, Ontario, Leanne Wilson, Quebec, Lisa Petra, New Brunswick, Brenda Arsenault-LeBlanc, and Nova Scotia, Gwen Watt. And our CBTF Education Committee is made up of myself, Maureen Johnson, Amy Kalin, Karen Grattan, Jeff Johnson, Ron Kopes, and Joanne Moser. So just to jump into our new season reminders, just something that we like to touch base on every year to remind you. After your provincial AGM, please submit your elected provincial reps along with their contact information. This needs to go to secretary and data entry at cbtf.ca. It's important because this information is used to create the group email addresses that are used by our national reps to contact the provinces. So if you don't submit your provincial reps, you're likely missing out on our communications. So we have bulk email address groups, and your reps' names are added to those. And then that's what our CBTF board and technical committee uses to reach out to everybody in the provinces and the committees. Competition results, as always, please send this information immediately after every competition. You can simply click on the competition results under the important links on the website, and you can directly upload and submit your results. You can do this by attaching a PDF, a Word document, or Excel spreadsheets. And just at our recent meeting, it was noted that if they could be grouped by event, that's always easier for our data entry person to do the input. So send all your medley results followed by solo dance to baton, just clump them all together. It's important because results are used to calculate the Athlete of the Year awards and our Challenge Cup awards. So if you aren't submitting, your athletes aren't being credited with their points. And we require all the results from graded and competitive events, so not only your advancement scores. However, you don't need to submit your pre-competitive results. We don't need those. Important again for this year, all the data is going to be used by the Education Committee in the review of our 5 levels project that I'm going to touch on later. So please make sure you get all your results sent in. Graded medals, once again, competition directors are expected to use the standard CBTF medals for our graded events. It's a national program, and you can use your old stock until you run out. Orders for graded medals are invoiced directly to the CBTF for payment after approval and collected by CBTF from the province. The order forms will be distributed to provincial technical chairs, and the deadline to order for the upcoming season is December 31st. This needs to go into office@cbtf.ca. Sue Mepham will take care of that for us. It's a one and only order that goes in each season, and always remember December is busy, so consider placing your orders now. Sue will get those forms out as soon as she's back. And remember to order enough medals to cover individual graded events as well as your group events in your province. So moving on to our competitive program, one of the major things that came out of the fall technical meeting was the implementation of 5 levels. So we now have, this is just a brief overview here, I'll go into a little bit more detail in a minute. We now have 5 levels, C, BN, BI, BA, and A. The advancement score from C to BN is 2.5, BN to BI is 3.5, BI to BA is 5.0, and BA to A is 7.0. So how did we get here? Well, at the 2016 Fall Technical Meeting, there was a proposal to create a new elite division with an advancement score of either 7.5 or 8.0. 6 years worth of Canadian scores were reviewed, and the number of athletes that would actually fall into that new division were extremely low. So there's a chart down there that was presented in 2016. The consensus at that time was that no decision would be made and that further study was needed. 2017, we studied the results from the 2017 Canadians, this time looking at all levels. An elite division of 8.0 and higher would again be very small. Data did show that consideration should be given to expanding the B divisions into 3 levels. And the technical committee considered many advancement score options and settled on the 2.5, 3.5, 5.0, 7.0 as just the numbers to keep in mind during the next season, that we would take a look at 2018 Fall Technical Meeting to see if those would be the numbers that work. So over the 2017-18 competition season, scores from all the competitions across Canada were compiled into a database so that we could study and determine if we should proceed with a 5 levels proposal. There's 7,349 data points included in this study. I'm going to just pull up the solo information for you, but we've studied every single individual and duet event in the same way. So looking at this, the bars on the graph show the frequency of that score being handed out for solo in the last competition season. And the colors highlight the range of scores for the division. So yellow is up to 2.5, that's level C. The green is your level BN, the blue is your level BI, and the purple is your level A. If we shift those colors down to the new scoring range and leave the white as our new BA division, you'll see that the divisions are still well represented and have a good number of athletes in them. The BN, BI, and BA now spans the majority of our scores, which also represents the majority of our athletes. And we still have the level A division. We've just upped the score to get into it is 7.0. So probably a better range for the athletes that are actually competing in that event, in that level, I'm sorry. So there's the chart again, just to make sure everybody's aware. Athletes will establish their individual or duet levels as of January 1st, 2019, so this coming January, based on the highest score received in each event up to and including December 31st, 2018. So yes, that means you need to go back and look at your scores. Chances are they're going to have been achieved in the last year, but possibly going back 2 years to see what your highest score was, and it's an honor system. Within the grading system, athletes who achieved a BN Gold or a BN Diamond up to and including December 31st, 2018 will now be level BI as of January 1st, 2019. So take a look with your athletes at the scores or grades that they've received. If you have questions or are unsure, reach out to your provincial technical chair. They should have all of the results from the competitions in your province last year. And then if you still need help from there, the provincial technical chair can reach out to me and we'll work it out. The new graded events conversion scores for level BN, because now the division is 2.5 to 3.5, so tabulators and awards people. A BN bronze is 2.5 to 2.84. A BN silver is 2.85 to 3.19. A BN gold is 3.2 to 3.49. And a BN diamond is 3.5 and higher. So now we'll move on to explicit lyrics. This was something that came up at the fall technical meeting, and CBTF has made a guideline statement. So CBTF does not support the use of explicit lyrics and inappropriate choreography. When planning programs, it's the responsibility of the coach to keep in mind that baton twirling is a sport. Should the choice of music and/or the choreography become a concern, the competition director will be advised by the head judge. The coach will then be approached in a professional and confidential manner by the competition director, and if possible, the head judge and/or the provincial technical chair with the concerns. The athlete may or may not be present for the discussion, of course, depending on age and maturity level, but will not be penalized in any way. The coach will be encouraged to edit the music and/or make changes to the choreography for the next competition. Should the coach choose to not make revisions, the issue will be dealt with by the provincial board of directors. Extended two baton and three baton music. The level BA and level A two baton and three baton athletes will now use an extended piece of music. This music is available on the CBTF website, and you can log into your CBTF account and download it at no charge if you have already purchased the music CD, because updates are provided for free. So the new music is 1 minute 53 seconds with a beep at 1:29. And your level C, BN, and BI athletes are still required to finish at the 1:29 mark at the beep. Other updates to the CBTF music CD or the online download. So of course it has the addition of the CBTF extended two baton. It now has the addition of IBTF solo, two baton, and duet. One piece of optional processional music has been put back on because the CBTF marching music, that 30-minute track, has now been removed. So there was a little more space for some additional processional music. And just a reminder, the Twirl Team 1 standard music was replaced in the spring. It's the same music, but there was a stereo mono issue that was fixed. So if you haven't yet downloaded the new version, you can log in to do that. Extended solo music. So it will be used by level BI, BA, and A for this upcoming 2018-2019 season. And then we'll change for the 2020 season, and only level BA and A will use the extended music at that time. So because our level B athletes have been using it, we're going to give them this year to still use it if they choose, and hopefully move up to BA and then use it in the next season after that. And since we use this solo music for duet, this is also applicable to the duet event as well. Illegal baton moves in medley. So now there will be a 0.1 penalty for illegal baton moves in the first and second section of medley. The score sheet has been revised and is also available on the website. So competition directors, please ensure you're using the updated version at your competitions. If you have any old ones in stock, put those in the shredder, print out some new ones. Tabulators will need to be aware of the penalties applied to medley. Drops and illegal baton moves now carry the 0.1 deduction. So this is just a sample of the bottom of this score sheet as it appears now. So you'll see section 1, judges will mark illegal baton moves and they carry a 0.1 penalty. Omitted mandatory elements, no penalty, but they will be marked down there. Section 2, drops and illegal baton moves will carry the 0.1 penalty per. You'll notice that breaks, slips, off pattern, and loss of balance are still recorded, but they do not carry a penalty. And same for section 3, drops will carry a 0.1 penalty as usual. Breaks, slips, off pattern, and loss of balance simply recorded, no penalty. There's a list of the legal and illegal baton movements for Section 1. I'm not going to read through them all because I want you all to go and watch the Medley refresher that was just launched on Friday. Everything's explained very well in there. Section 2 also has the list of legal and illegal baton moves. If you have any questions, reach out to your provincial technical chair and they can connect with me if you need anything clarified. Moving on to group events, theme production is currently a minor event within CBTF. We've decided that it's going to be eliminated effective September 1st, 2019, so next year. 2018-2019 will be the final season for theme production. This decision was made because there are no entries in this event, and if we are to maintain the event, it would be necessary to include training in our coaching and judging courses. So that's the reason it was decided to be removed. If nobody's doing it, we don't want to put the effort and work into training our coaches and judges on it. Dance Twirl team score sheet. We've revised the captions as well as so the titles for the captions as well as the points assigned to each caption. So our old captions had twirl in correlation with dance, dance in correlation with baton handling, general effect, and production, with each of those captions worth 25 marks. So it came out as you got 50% of your marks for dancing and twirling and 50% of your marks for generally how did it look. Over on the new score sheet, 30 marks for twirl, 30 marks for dance, 30 marks for coordination of dance and twirl, and 10 marks for general effect. So now we're awarding 90% of our score to dancing and twirling, 10% to how did it look. So this is more in line also with our twirl team score sheet in that everything goes 30, 30, 30, 10. The current Dance Twirl team role models will be rescored using the new Dance Twirl team score sheet captions, and the supporting material for Dance Twirl team role model video will include a breakdown of the caption scores. So same as the Twirl team material, there's just a shot of what we have available for the CBTF role model tape with respect to Twirl team, and we intend to break down the Dance Twirl team in the same manner, so you'll have that type of detail when you're judging. With respect to practice zones at Canadians, we piloted the practice zone model at the 2017 and 2018 Canadians with very good feedback from the coaches. So now the practice zones model will be used at the Canadian Championships going forward. No longer a pilot project, it's in effect. So in the judging news, just a reminder for our judges, the following score sheets have been changed this year, like I just mentioned. So make sure you review them and become comfortable with the changes. So Medley now has the penalties, and Dance Twirl team has captions and weights that have changed. So it's going to be very important to score by caption and respect the weights assigned to each caption on the score sheet. With respect to the exams for judges selection process, selecting judges for ICQ and Canadians. Amy did receive feedback, and this is what we've come up with as an education committee to help judges with the exam process. So we're going to offer 2 events for judges to actually practice writing the Canadian and ICQ exams this year. So these will be made available on November 11th. So it'll be samples that you can view online and practice, because it's different judging on the computer than it is judging live. So we want to give you this option to practice so that you're ready to write the exams. And then following that, there'll be an informational webinar on November 25th, and Amy and Ron will summarize the practice exams and provide the key scores and comments along with strengths and weaknesses. So it's not intended to be a debate about the scores or the ranks. The intent is to provide the information to the participants so they can prepare themselves to write the formal exams. So the link for that will be coming out. Amy will take care of sending that out. It'll be the evening of November 25th for judges who are interested. Judging professionalism was a big topic on the fall technical agenda this year. So we're going to do a judges professionalism webinar. It's scheduled for Sunday, January 20th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, links and information will be distributed closer to that date. All judges will be required to either attend the webinar live or to download it and watch it as a recording off of the CBTF website in order to be eligible to judge. Joanne, Ron, and Amy will take the lead on that webinar. So just watch for more information coming out on that. Mark your calendars now. Judges listings on the website. So the certified judges listing page has been updated based on information we had in our old database, plus with responses from provinces regarding judging updates. Many certifications were removed from the listing because many judges did not report their update activity. So if you see that your name is either not on the website or that it appears that some modules are missing from your listing, it's because we haven't heard from you regarding your update. So that the requirement to update every 4 years, if yours isn't on there, then we don't have that, and technically we think you've expired. Let us know when you did your update and we'll get that fixed up on the website. So that needs to go through your provincial judges rep, and that person is responsible for reporting to Amy regarding M1, M2, and M3, and to Ron regarding any masters updates. Moving on to videotaping. So as I mentioned earlier, we're always trying to maintain the video library. We're in constant need of sample videos. So all provinces have once again been asked to implement a videotaping program to support CBTF's education programs. We need pre-competitive events, badge testing, and competitive events. Our priorities this year, first and foremost, SDP badge testing. So if you have any badge testing that you're doing, get it on video. If you have any SDP kids practicing for their badge testing, we can use that as well. Get those on videos, send them in. Pre-competitive events, both individual and group are needed. And then with respect to our individual events, priorities would be 3 Baton, Medley, and Duet. And with our group events, Twirl Team and Dance Twirl Team. So if we can get our provinces on helping us out with that, we got some good videos in last year, and we want to keep up that library. So after every event, don't wait until the end of the year, send your videos to admin@cbtf.ca. You could use a Dropbox. You can contact Jeff at the admin address. He'll give you information on Dropbox. If it's small enough, you can email it. If you have a Google Drive, you can share it that way, or put it on a USB and mail it in. Event refreshers. So based on questions, comments, and agenda items, it appeared as though the technical membership wants clear outlines of event expectations from both a coaching and judging standpoint. So the pre-competitive events online refresher course was well received by both coaches and judges. So our technical committee has taken on the project of developing event refreshers for all of our CBTF competitive events. And these are being rolled out throughout the months of October, November, and December. And technical association members will be able to access the link and watch or listen to the tutorial on their own time. And we're targeting these to be about 15 to 25 minutes long, so something that you can do in a short period of time. The link to access all of the refreshers is listed there. They will live permanently on the website, so you can do it as time permits for you personally. But our goal is to have coaches and judges do these before the competition season begins in the new year. So thank you to all of our volunteers who have given their time to put their voices to these refreshers. So it's not something that you just have to sit and read, but you can listen to as well. Moving on to the coaching realignment, these are the charts that I showed you last year. I'm just going to highlight a couple of the updates on them. Of course, we've added level BA to our chart here. Our theory content, so coach and training, there's 5 online tutorials. Baton Twirling Foundation will have approximately 21 online tutorials. Competition Coach 1 will have about 27. Competition Coach 2 will have about 36, and Competition Coach 3 will have about 13 tutorials for the theory portion of the courses. Part 1, year 1 of the coaching training program will involve 15 to 20 hours of in-gym coaching time with a mentor coach and 2 to 3 hours of community development. And this is just the summary of what it means to be trained. So your theory content and your practical content is complete. You're considered trained at that level. NCCP content. So NCCP Part A is a requirement for Baton Twirling Foundations, and that is made up of making ethical decisions, planning a practice, and nutrition. And NCCP Part B is made up of basic mental skills, design a basic sport program, teaching and learning, and that's part of competition 1. I had Sue do a little bit of research for me because I know there's sometimes some confusion across the provinces because these courses are delivered differently in each province. So in BC, Ontario, and New Brunswick, the NCCP courses are offered as individual courses. So you have to sign up to take making ethical decisions, you have to sign up to take planning a practice, and you have to sign up to take nutrition. Whereas in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Quebec, and Nova Scotia, they're bundled. You sign up to take NCCP Part A, and you get those 3 courses. Alberta offers both options. So you can either sign up as a bundle or you can sign up for individual courses. So that hopefully will clarify some things for some people. And then you become certified when your NCCP and evaluation content is complete. So that's the same as what we've presented before. We are ready to launch our coaching training program Part 1. So we're going to launch that on November 15th. There's going to be no charge to sign up, but you must be a CBTF member in order to sign up to be a coach in training. So that would be a type A, B, BR, or D, trying to encourage our athletes to sign up to take the coach in training programs. Once you're registered through the CBTF website, the participant will receive the CIT Handbook Part 1 and will be given access to the online tutorials. And the handbook provides information on the program for the actual coach in training. For the mentor, it also provides tips for the mentor on providing feedback, and it provides logs for recording the practical hours that are required. And then a certificate will be issued to the participant upon completion of the coach in training Part 1. Course Conductors Retreat. The online tutorials for all of the other coaching courses, Foundations, Competition 1, Competition 2, and Competition 3, will be complete by January 31st, 2019. There will be a Course Conductor Retreat held in Winnipeg on February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And information has been sent to provincial technical chairs. We are looking for 1 course conductor from each province who's willing to do the work needed on the practical in-class portion of the courses to come to Winnipeg that weekend. We'll complete the in-class practical portions of the courses and basically get the courses ready to launch. If your province doesn't have a course conductor, then we're asking you to send somebody who is interested in becoming a course conductor. And of course, they would still have to go through the approval and application process to become one, but if they're interested, then we would love to have them come to Winnipeg in February. And this is going to be covered by CBTF, so at no expense to the provinces. If the province decides they want to send additional course conductors to help out, that's great. They can do so at their expense. So the courses will be ready to launch in March, and in order to roll this out smoothly, provinces should submit their potential dates for courses that they would like to host. Approval must be granted by me before any announcements of courses can be made. I want to make sure that we have ample time in between courses running in different provinces to make any adjustments that we need to make to the course. So I don't want everybody to go and run all of these courses right away in March and be inundated with things that need to be changed. So reach out to me with your interest in hosting a course, and then we'll agree upon a date that your province can host, and then you can go from there with your course planning. Just touching on the judging realignment, a lot of my focus has been on the coaching realignment, in the background, there is work being done on the judging realignment. So that will fall nicely into place once we get the coaching part of it up and running. So this is just a summary of what I presented last year as well. We're going to do the in-class material is going to be a GoToMeeting format, and a lot of the stuff will be done online, but we still will be requiring judges to practice judge live competitions as well, of course. Our Adjudicator program, online tutorials are being developed, and they will be reviewed by the Education Committee in December. The Adjudicator contract has been updated and posted to the website. The dress code is being adjusted for the adjudicators to reflect the judge's uniform, but no blazer is required for the adjudicators. So their uniform will be the black dress pants and white blouse or dress shirt, just no blazer. The challenge to completing this course and getting it to launch is that we don't have enough videos to create the actual adjudicator exams. So hence our call out for lots of SDP videoing. So with WBTF, they've adopted the junior short program for the year 2020. CBTF will implement it immediately. The level A junior short program will be elements only, no accessory material. And if you haven't already seen, there are some examples posted on the WBTF Facebook page showing the elements. It's the same elements that the seniors do. And they use the same music as the senior short program. Level A compulsories will still be offered at open competitions in Canada. It's a part of our badge program and a part of our progressional learning. So if you want to still continue with your level A compulsories, you will be able to do so. And material from WBTF with respect to the short program is available on the WBTF website. So you just have to go to the WBTF website to access the information needed. You'll find International Cup stuff there and short program. So I've just got a screenshot up there where you can access that. If you don't have access to the WBTF site, Jeff has added this material just now to the CBTF website. So you'll find the information on International Cup. That's with all of the restrictions and everything. So that's an important one to pay attention to. Short program, written descriptions, as well as the manual for the World Championships. So everybody should visit that, download it. Moving on to our major competitions. I've listed the dates that we had available and noted at the fall board meeting. If there's any updates or changes, let us know. So those are listed there for you. Just a reminder that clubs and provinces cannot book judges for open competitions occurring on any dates listed above until approved by the CBTF technical chair, and that master judges must be used for team trial events. So judges, you shouldn't be accepting contracts for open competitions until all of the provincial competitions on that weekend have been fulfilled. Moving on to our 2019 International Cup Qualifier. So a little bit of information for you. Our host province coordinator is Edie. Our competition director will be Leisha. I'll be the entry processor, and our lead tabulators are Cindy and Terry. Location will be at the University of Manitoba Investors Group Athletic Centre, very familiar to you all, same place we had the 2018 Canadians. And our host hotel is the Best Western Pembina Inn and Suites, again, familiar to everyone who attended Canadians last year. We've got the entire hotel blocked for this event, and the booking information will be distributed shortly. And please note that the state of play policy is in effect. Schedule for the weekend, Friday, May 17th is a practice day, judges meeting and opening ceremonies. Saturday will be preliminary rounds for all events. Sunday will be semifinals as required, final rounds for all events, awards, and the closing ceremonies. And Monday will be the contingent clinic along with the contingent meeting. The intent to compete forms are now posted on the CBTF website, and the submission deadline is November 25th. And just a reminder that the $200 deposit is required to be submitted with your intent to compete form.
So the 2019 International Cup and Grand Prix is going to be held in Limoges, France. They gave us a brief presentation at the summer meetings, and we're going to get more details at the winter meetings that are happening there in January of 2019. So at those meetings, it will be me, Ron, and Maureen who attend for the various obligations that we have. We will be taking advantage of every opportunity that we can to view facilities and hotels and get as much information as we can to take back to our CBTF members. I've been doing some investigation into how does one get to Limoges. They had told us that there is an international airport there, but remember that this is Europe, and international for them means something different than it means for us. It's very likely that you will need to travel to Limoges by train from a major airport. I've just started the planning for me and Ron and Maureen, and it's very likely that we're going to have to fly into Paris and take the train. The organizers had said at the summer meeting that they were looking at perhaps trying to work on a shuttle to get people there from Paris or other airports. We have no information yet on hotels, but they advised us in the summertime that this is typical French style. It is not at all big hotels like we're used to in North America, and the rooms will be very small. The venue that's been booked is the Zenith Limoges Metropole Arena, and they're going to have change rooms both inside and outside the arena, and this just gives you an idea of the exterior and the interior. So it's a standard European type sports arena. International Cup runs from August 5th to 8th. They're holding a majorette competition on August 9th, and also on that day there's going to be a little bit of Grand Prix after the majorette competition is done. So the Grand Prix begins on August 9th and runs the 10th and 11th. Just also note that there's going to be a Facebook page. We'll have information on our website, information after the winter meetings in January. Interesting for us, and I don't know if anyone from CBTF is going to pursue it, but for the majorette competition, it's open to everyone. And so they're going to have traditional corps, parade corps, and entertainment corps. And if you want, you can enter because it's an open competition. Some changes with the international events. For artistic groups, we used to only have 6 advance to the finals. Now we're having 10 groups advance to the finals. And the WBTF rule regarding tattoos has been amended, so it's no longer required to cover them, although our position remains that you should attempt to cover them, just recognizing that this is a sport and you're putting forward a professional image, but there will no longer be a penalty if a tattoo is showing. There's been some changes to the divisions, so when you are qualifying, we now have in the women a junior 1, where 3 athletes in that age division will qualify, a junior 2, a senior and adult, and in the junior 2, senior and adult, it's 6 athletes per division. You will note that for solo and 2 baton, the elite divisions do not compete in International Cup, they compete in the Grand Prix. And now the men's divisions have been consolidated. So there's a junior division of 12 to 17 years old and a senior division of 18 and older, and 6 athletes will qualify in each of those. And note again that for solo and 2 baton, the elite athletes will only compete in the Grand Prix. And then just following through with artistic pair, we have the 3 divisions for junior, senior, and adult, and all of those people compete at the International Cup. New to the Grand Prix this year is duet, and again, that's only an elite division, and that is only in the Grand Prix. And of course, also with the Grand Prix, and I should remind people about that as well for the other elite events at the Grand Prix, that it is split between the 2 national federations, or the CBTF and the CBTA, and so the spots are limited in that way. And then team and artistic group. So of course in team, that's 6 to 8 members, no age division. The B and A will compete in International Cup. Elite will compete in Grand Prix, again, as between the CBTF and CNBTA arrangement for that. And in artistic group, that is International Cup, no age division, and we can send 3 groups. Following up on 2020 Pan Pacific. So we had won the bid for the 2020 Pan Pacific competition being hosted in Alberta. We originally had some facilities in place in Calgary, but there is a new facility in Red Deer that's being built that would be far superior in terms of a facility for the athletes. I know that Sherry and Candy and ABTA have been working very hard on this, and they're actually finalizing up the arrangements with the facility in Red Deer hopefully next week. And ABTA is going to be meeting at the end of October to determine key local volunteers for the host committee, and following that, then CBTF will be able to put in place our host committee, as I'm going to need to tell my colleagues on the Pan Pacific Commission in January what we've got and who's doing what, so that we can get started, because the entry forms are going to be due in the fall of next year.
Okay, Canadians. So Canadians will be in Regina this year, starting the practice day opening ceremony starts on June 30th, and the competition runs through to July 4th, with the athletes party scheduled the way we did it last year in Winnipeg. The athletes party happening after the closing ceremony on July 4th, and then we'll have the open clinic on Friday, July 5th. Scheduled for the actual competition days be the same as we did last year. So CBTF events on the Monday, Tuesday, and then group and freestyle and pair events on the Wednesday, Thursday. For right now, we've got, we're planning to have 2 hotels available. One of them, the Travelodge, has already been lined up. The second one, we're still finalizing the contracting arrangements. The state of play policy is in effect, so people have to stay at one of these 2 hotels. Once we have that second hotel confirmed, then we'll post the booking details on the website so that everyone knows what their 2 options are and can make the choice that fits them best. But the Travelodge has a pretty good package available. They include a breakfast, there's an on-site restaurant. They're willing to have team rooms and meals available through their catering department. So that one, at least, we have 140 rooms there. That one, at least, as the first one we've got lined up, looks pretty good already. And then, of course, we'll be at the University of Regina, the Kinesiology Center. We've been there before, so people should be familiar with that facility. It's a great facility for Canadians, and so that's where we'll be. And that's about it for Canadians.
That's what we've got for Canadians so far. Thank you. And that actually wraps up everything that we have to present to you. So I can open it up now for some questions and answers if there's anything that people would like to ask. Okay, Jen, can you let me know? You have a question here, but
I think that was.
I don't know what.
I think she asked that question when we were doing the 5 levels.
So it is in effect this season.
Oh, her question is why are we going with last year's scores?
Oh, sorry. I guess if I pull down here, why are you going with last year's scores? It's any score that they've achieved in their lifetime, but ultimately their highest scores were probably achieved in the last year or 2. Well, we have to give people a place to compete. So if you were scoring 5.7, say your score was 5.7, where would you go this year? You would be BA.
It's Joanne here. If I could just add one more thing that came up of the technical meeting. We were mindful of the fact that some provinces host competitions in the fall and before year end, and we also wanted to give them the opportunity to know of this information and not feel that they weren't given enough time to finish their competitions that had already probably been underway and planned for November, December of this year, because that does happen. So we wanted to just start fresh with the new year as well.
The Regina crew had a question there about the course conductors retreat.
When you're talking about the retreat for the course conductor courses, is that just for the SDP or is that for all course conductors for all courses, coaching and judging? The retreat that we have planned for February is going to be focused on the coaching courses. So we're going to be developing the practical in-class sessions for the coaching courses for foundations through competition 3. So we're looking for coaching course conductors to attend, but of course, anybody who's willing to do the work, because we're going to work hard all weekend, you can come. Now I see there was another question down here. Are athletes that compete in B at ICUP event or individual event for 2 years? We do understand that they compete many times in team at the B level. So athletes that have competed, say an athlete, I'll try and do it by example. Say an athlete went to Abbotsford 2015 and was part of a level B pair and was also part of a level B team. So we don't count anything to do with the team. That athlete gets a 1 tick mark for doing level B pair. So then that athlete went to Croatia in 2017 and competed in level B solo and level B 2 baton and level B 3 baton, and also say level B team. That athlete now has 2 check marks against them for competing in level B solo 2 baton and 3 baton, along with their 2015 Abbotsford. That athlete is now done competing individual or pair events in level B. So for France, they could still be part of a level B team, but if they're going to do any individual events, they have to compete level A or elite. Can you be A in solo and B in 2 baton? Yes, you can, as long as you don't have your 2 tick marks in level B from the previous years. Okay. Is CBTF letting coaches know what their new level will be in the new coaching realignment? Yes, I've almost got that ready to go. Each coach will receive an individual letter by email. So I just have to do the mail merge and get this out. We've based it upon information submitted by your provinces to determine what level you would be assigned in the new system. And then if you want to challenge that or you don't agree with where you've been placed, you're more than welcome to. There's going to be an outline in the letter letting you know what you need to submit to the education committee, who will then review and either reassign or let you know that no, where you were assigned initially is where you stay. So I will get that out soon. This one was on my plate for a while here. So another question, when we do the warm-ups and we have a warm-up gym, do we have to give 2 different warm-ups, or can the athletes who can hear the music in the practice gym practice there? Absolutely. It's a good idea to give, it's nice for the athletes to have 2 warm-ups on the main competition floor, but it's not mandatory. The way that I like to run it, and that we run it also at Canadian, so Jeff likes to run it that way too, is by giving 2 sets of warm-ups, you get your athletes that are in set 1 get to do the first warm-up, then they get to come off the floor, cool down and prepare to take the floor while the second set of warm-ups are going on. So it's not like they're going to do a warm-up and then go on the floor, although with our protocol in place, sweeping the floor gives them a little bit of warm-up time too. So absolutely, you can run it how it works best in your province. That's just the layout that we gave was how it's run at Canadians. So if you want to be preparing your athletes to be familiar with the method used at Canadians, that's the method to use. But by all means, do what works for you in your province. Does Canada still implement a mandatory elite entry for world team members, or is there a score? Yeah, all that information is on the intent to compete forms. It's laid out in that package that should be, you'll find on the website now. So it's It's by score, and there are some restrictions from WBTF point of view about if you've made it into a finals or a semifinals at Worlds, they have restrictions as well. So be sure to read all that on the package for the intent to compete. Are the coaches allowed to use their discretion when determining which level the athletes will be competing in this year? For example, if an athlete received a 2.6 and a 3.5 in the same year, the 3.5 at Canadians, no, so 3.5 is their highest. If that 3.5 is their highest score that they received last year, 3.5 makes them BI this year. So no, the coaches don't get to choose. We're using the scores that the athletes have received over the years.
And remember, it's net score, so net of drops, net of any penalties.
Correct, yeah, so their final score. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to leave you with a quote because I love quotes. I look forward to the upcoming season and tackling all of our work ahead of us. And thank you so much for attending tonight's webinar. Thank you to our presenters. And thank you to the Education Committee for all of their work that they do throughout the year, as well as all of our reps within all of the provinces. So best of luck to everyone this season, and hope to see you all at the upcoming competitions. Thank you.